Hey guys, we're back with an all new video, and guess what our video is about today? Serial killers? Tons of serial killers. No, I don't love serial killers, but I do love books about serial killers, and that is why today we are going to share with you most of our book collection. Just so you guys know, all of our books are not about serial killers. We have books about pretty much everything. Love, pretty much everything. That's why we're going to share them all with you so you can go out and check them out. Ayana, what are you reading? Oh, just reading a book about a guy who's basically a serial killer, but he pretends to be his mother and then he gets away with it sort of in his own mind. Psycho, a novel. This book is called Psycho, and the movie is based on this book. The next books that we are sharing with you come from a very dark world, the dark world of Gillian Flynn, who also wrote Gone Girl. If you haven't seen that movie, guys, it's crazy. It's movie. Pretty insane. Yeah, these are actually really good books. We watched the movie. This is also a movie. Yeah. Dark Places. Dark Places was good. It has Charlize Theron in it. Yeah, Dark Places is I like the movie. I feel like it was more interesting reading the book, but the movie was good. This is how I end up buying a Gillian Flynn book, because you open the book and in the first 2 pages inside Sharp Objects, it's praise for sharp objects, and there's a page on the inside. So she has a pretty big following of really great book reviewers that really love her work. So if you need a little help after reading these dark, scary, tragic, creepy books, make sure to check out Psych 101. Every time I feel like somebody's a little off or a little crazy, I just open this book, and they have chapters on love, on all kinds of stuff. Have these little tests that you can take on people. Eek Watch 101. Wow. What do you see there, Alana? I see, I don't know. This is a short 101 crash course in psychology. Sometimes you have to shatter the mirror in you to see what the pieces make you. Sometimes you have to shatter the pieces in you to see all the pieces that make you beautiful. Our next line of books are poetry books. These are our favorite kind of books to read. I don't know, I'm obsessed with poetry, specifically spoken word poetry. Yes. I actually have 2 books from my favorite spoken word poets ever. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Button Poetry. Button Poetry is basically where we learned about spoken word poetry. So one night we were in Richmond and we were I'm bored, and Ayana was all I have this new thing. And I was I don't know, I don't really listen to poetry, it's not really my thing. And then she plays Sarah Kay for me. She had her TED Talk where she performed her poem, If I Should Have a Daughter. And like I said, it spoke to my heart. It spoke to my heart. Snap, snap. Our first book is No Matter the Wreckage by Sarah Kay herself. And oh my gosh, Sarah Kay is just... she's goals. I can't even. This is just a great read. All these poems are by Sarah Kay, so check them out if you want this book. We will actually link it down below because I don't know if it's sold in actual bookstores. Yeah, we'll link her doing some of her, we'll do her TED Talk down below. Yeah, we'll link her TED Talk down below. And her TED Talk will just transform your life. Just check it out. It will transform your life. So our next book is a book by someone both Ayana and I love. R.M. Drake. He's an Instagram poet. He's an Instagram poet. Brownies are done. This next poetry book that we have is super awesome because I became a fan of him on Instagram. And it's quite amazing how he has his own book. Well, he has lots of books now, which is kind of crazy. But the book of his that I have is called Beautiful Chaos. Look at this cover. It's so cool. It's amazing. There's so much art in this book. It's a super cool read because it's an adult book, but there's pictures, when you were little, and they all had pictures. Pictures. And on the back of the book it says "Stay beautiful." How kind. The poems are really good and they're short. I read the whole book in a day. The last book that we have in our poetry collection of books is this God-gifted book by Richard Seiken. Seiken or Seiken. I really don't know. I've heard people pronounce it Seiken or Seiken. It's a poetry book. Of course, I was, scrolling through Tumblr, and I saw this quote. This is how fast, like, seriously, this quote changed my life in less than a few seconds. And then literally within hours, I had my mom, like, I was like, Mom, I have to get this book. I was in high school, but I was like, Mom, I have to get this book. I have to get this book. And then we ordered it in like less than 2 hours after I read the first quote from it. And I read this book, and it was like Crushed by Richard Seiken. He also has another book, but this one is like my favorite Richard Seiken book, and it's really the only one that I have ordered. So, tell me how this and Love Too will ruin us. These are bodies possessed by light. Tell me we'll never get used to it.
Yeah, you see, well, I'm an actor, right? So I gotta keep my emotions right at the surface,
Our next category of books in our book collection is definitely acting books. Yeah, we act a little. So our first book, Acting for the Camera by Toni Barr. And this book, as an actress, will literally change your life. This book taught me easier than someone just teaching me. The next set of books that we have are monologue books. We've marked these up so much. Like so many that we've just like been like, I want these. I want these. If I'm auditioning, it'll be this one. Yeah, I think Ivana actually used one of these in an audition. Yeah, it was one out of this book. The monologue that I used to get into the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and we both got in, so that's cool. This one's called Contemporary American Monologues for Women. I found this on Tumblr, like I find most of my books. This one has really cool monologues. I think, these are all from stage, so if you're doing a theatrical play or something and you have to audition, definitely get this book. Last but not least, in our acting books, I will be the first to say that this one's probably not one you should learn from. But it is called Actors Anonymous by James Franco. I know, who knew he was a writer. But if you read the McDonald's chapter of this book, you will start to wonder if this is all actually like from real life stories. Yeah, you'll start to wonder if it's fiction and not nonfiction, because some of the stories in this book, just read this book that he wrote. This is A California Childhood by James Franco. It includes stories from Palo Alto, which is now like a major motion picture. I just read that off the sticker. I actually really enjoyed watching Palo Alto. I think it was directed by Gia Coppola, who's like one of my favorite directors ever. So this is James Franco's job application. For what? I don't know. I didn't read it. Here are some of his paintings. Interesting. Who knew? James Franco was an artist. So, I kind of actually just love looking through this book.
Don't smile at me like that.
Why not?
Because I don't know what it means.
Our next line of books are romance novels. The first book we have is The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. The whole book takes place in like one day. I read this book in about a week, but you could probably easily read it in a day or two. It's about love at first sight. It's about the statistical probability of love at first sight. Super cute book. Loved it. My book in our romance collection that I picked out is The Lover's Dictionary. And this is such a cool book because it's a dictionary. All one story, but it's like little tiny passages. And like you could probably read this in like 3 hours. That's how it's like reading a dictionary. It's that easy of a read. It's such a clever book. Yeah, it's clever. It's different. It's super clever.
But I know I have thought about you. And I like you.
The next line of books that we have, and the final line of books that we have, are finally books that we've made in we've made into movies. Yeah, because we're filmmakers. Books that have been made into movies by awesome directors. Since we started talking about it first, Looking for Alaska. I got this book for like $5, like right before it got really popular. Like it was crazy. Selling for because like $5. We had this book, and then everyone started talking about Looking for Alaska, and we were just like, I gotta check that book out. But then when we looked at the cover, we were like, we have that book. We got it for like $5. Out of 5 and below. We haven't read it yet. But it's in our collection. I'm thinking we're gonna wait for the movie, and then we'll decide. What's his name? John Green. I haven't even read any of his books.
I mean, I did read Paper Towns. I have that on the ebook, and Paper Towns was actually really good. I was not excited about the movie. The movie was not as good as the book, but I will still watch this movie.
The next book that we have on our list is a book that's widely popular, and I only picked it up because it was widely popular, and that is the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. And I have to tell you guys, like, I actually enjoyed the Divergent series so much on these. These are actually good reads. Like, they're seriously good. So the next book that we have is Silver Linings Playbook. I feel like the movie for this wasn't like as good as the book, but I also really love David O. Russell's work, so I will say that the book is really, really, really good on its own, and then the movie is also very good on its own. Obviously, it was like, you know, nominated for an Oscar and everything. So
the next book we have in our collection is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This book is literally an amazing romance novel. Did I feel the same about the movie? No. They changed a lot in the movie.
Oftentimes the movie stands great on its own, and then the book is a completely separate thing.
The book is a tearjerker. Like, you will cry during the book, but in the movie, I felt like I was obligated to cry, but I just couldn't because they changed so much, and the whole time I just kept thinking, why would they change so much and like totally obliterate the book? But it's whatever, you know.
This next book that we have, it's kind of funny because I feel like I only read the books where like my favorite actors are going to be in the movie, but this book is If I Stay by Gail Forman. And I didn't really like this book that much, but the movie was actually really good. I don't know if you can see that. I got a quarter of the way through, so sometimes I like get these books and I only want them because they're coming into being a movie, but then I watch the movie and I decide I don't really want to finish the book. So maybe one day we'll do like a giveaway.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway for this video.
Yeah, maybe in our next book collection video, when we have more subscribers, we'll do like a giveaway, and then you guys can have this book if you want to read it.
The next book we have in our collection, the only Twilight book I ever bought, even though I've read them all with ebooks, New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. This book is amazing. I remember watching the movie, and I'm glad that I watched the first movie first, so I got an idea of what I wanted the characters to look like in my head. I feel like this book was very consistent with the movie, which is why I really enjoyed it.
The Twilight movies, the Twilight books, like, I know a lot of people don't like them, but I think that they're actually really great.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with Edward and Bella. I'm not a Team Jacob fan, but maybe someday after I reread New Moon, which seems to be the one that made everyone a Jacob, like Team Jacob, but I'm still Team Edward. So
yeah. Next book, our last book that we have that has been made into a movie, and I still haven't seen the movie because I'm still reading the book because it's so new, but this is Brooklyn. It's a New York Times bestseller. We haven't finished it. We got like halfway to go. So when we're done, we're gonna watch the movie, and then really excited about that because it's actually playing on HBO right now. So if you want to just skip to watching the movie, you could actually do that.
Okay guys, that was our book collection. Thank you so much for watching.
Always remember, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up,
and always remember, do things you haven't, and subscribe us maybe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.